Good morning, everyone. How are you? Well, I am Dr. Renuka Mehra and I am with you since 31st August and connecting myself to help you clear your doubts on income tax for specially BBA 2 Direct Tax Law syllabus prescribed by Punjab University. Dear students, this is my third series of video in which I will tell you incidence of tax, or we say scope of taxes. Now this is one of a very easiest topic but confusing also. Why? What happens with this topic? Let me have a revision with you. In the first two series, first was our, if you remember, dear students, in the first lecture series, what we have done, we have talked about the different concepts of income tax. And by today, I am very sure you are absolutely clear about it. Like we have talked about previous year, that year in which the income is earned, and that is our 2019-20. And then we have talked about assessment year. What is assessment year? In the year in which the whole tax is paid on the income earned in previous year. Clear, my dear students? Now, after that, in series 2, chapter 2, what we have done? We have covered the residential status. Like, how can we say that the 7 types of person are resident of India, or are they non-resident of India, or they are not ordinary resident of India? We have already talked about who is the individual and how we determine the residential status of individual. Then we have seen the normal test and the normality test. If we talk about normal test, or we also call it like a residential test, in that we have seen that there were A and B condition, and if any of the condition was fulfilled, keeping in mind, please remember, keeping in mind the exceptions that we have already done our chapter 1 series. Now, after that, we have done normality test under section 6, subsection 6, in which, dear students, I have told you that there will be 2 conditions. If both of them are satisfied, then the person becomes an ordinary resident of India. But if one of the condition is satisfied, if only one of the condition is satisfied, that means either he is in India for 2 out of 10 years or 730 out of 7 years, one of the condition is satisfied, then we take it as not ordinary resident. And finally, dear students, we have the third category, that is non-resident. Now, when the above A and B, that means when the person fails on residential test, he cannot become an ordinary resident. That is why these 2 conditions will also fail. That means normality condition will also fail. So, now what is the question? Well, you remember me. I am Dr. Renuka Mehra. I am Assistant Professor in Government College of Commerce and Business Administration, Sector 50, Chandigarh. Now, what we have to start today? First, it was a recap that we have done in our chapter 1 series and chapter 2 series. Let us start in this, what we are talking about. Now, the next word is scope, or we can say incidence of tax. Means, like we have just talked about ordinary resident, we have talked about not ordinary resident and non-resident. Dear students, please, this is my request to you all. Now, whatever we are going to do is that you please keep a register with you and a pen or pencil to write. Now, why do we need to know this? We need to know this because incidence of tax will tell us that who is the person or who is the individual who is responsible to pay all types of tax, or who is the person who will exempt it, or we will write nil. What we will write? Yes, we will write nil, that there will be no tax. So let us begin. Now, first of all, we have to make a chart. On one side, we will write particulars. Then we will write ordinary resident. Please draw the line. Then not ordinary resident. And the third line, that is not non-resident. Dear students, it's very simple. So we need not to get confused. We need not to think now what, oh what. Now I will be saying these 11 entries on which all of your numericals will get solved just in fraction of seconds. Yes, believe me dear students, this is how I teach my students. Tax is not at all complex. Tax is not mathematics. Tax is one of the beautiful subject that only works with logics. We have to just apply the logic, and if our logic is correct, our answer will always be correct. Now let's begin. In the first of all, just remember number 1 point. Income received in India. Dear students, any income received from any source in India will be taxable to all the three. Means any income which is received in national boundaries of India will be taxable to each and every type of status. Now, after that, next is any income earned in India and received in India. Again, earned in India. Now, please remember, there will be two things. One is the source is India, and the other one, dear students, that the income has been received in India. So, remember, source, income, received, source and received. So, if these two status are from India, means we are receiving the income in India, and the status means the origin of the income, the source of the income is India, then again all the three will be fully taxable. Means all the three have to pay full taxation on them. Fine, dear students. Then after that, for example, we are given in the question income earned in India but received in United Kingdom. So what? Now please say, here we are given that income has been earned in India. It may be given anywhere in the world. Doesn't matter. When the word is earned, means earned in India, means all will be taxed. Now, third category. I would like to talk to you about agriculture income. Now, for agriculture income, we have 4 points. First of all, what is agriculture income? Agriculture income is an income which is received from sale of produce. Yes, we have done. Then it is received from rent in kind. Then we have received rent in kind, rent from land used for agriculture purpose. Yes, we have done it. Now, let us start. Number 1 point. When we talk about agriculture income, dear students, write down in India, agriculture income is absolutely exempted. Very good. Number 2nd point. If the agriculture income is received from other country in India, Likewise, we have land in Pakistan, in Bangladesh, Nepal, Bhutan, anywhere in the world. And that land is being used for agriculture purpose there. Again, dear students, always remember, dear students, that it will be again fully taxable, because if it is received in India, now what has happened? Agriculture income in the before point, in the before point I have said it is exempt if it is from India. But now it is given to me that agriculture income has accrued in some other country, but the money is received in India. Hence, dear students, with blindfold, it will be taxable to each and every one. That means OR, NOR, NR. Now, third point of agriculture income, let's see. It is written there. Third point says that agriculture income received from Bangladesh, example, any of the foreign country, and deposited in a bank account there only. Now, dear students, please remember. What to remember? You have to remember that when we are talking about this, that it is one of the income which is received outside India, and it is outside, it has been deposited also outside. Then just remember, the answer will be OR. It will be ordinary resident only. Why? Yes. Why? Because we believe that NOR and NR, not ordinary resident and non-resident, they are not as an ordinary resident of India. That is why the income with the ordinary resident will remain with him wherever he travels. But those people who are just coming in the India and do not fulfill the residential status or normality status, they will be taxed less. But if it is an ordinary resident, he will be taxed fully. Fine. I hope it is clear to you, dear students. Now in part 2, I am explaining the rest of the terms. God bless you. Have a safe stay at home. Don't panic. It is all good.